Today, we're going to find out what would happen if these top players in the NFL just didn't exist. All these 90-plus overall players are going to be gone because I have deleted the top 100 NFL players. So in this new NFL where the top 100 players just straight up don't exist, 88 overalls are the highest. Dak Prescott is now the highest overall quarterback in the league. Austin Eckler is the highest overall halfback. We definitely still have some pretty good receivers in the league, but DK Metcalf at an 88 overall is the highest. So I think you guys can see what's going on here, right? Like, still solid players, but the top guys are just straight up gone. Are the bad teams just going to get really, really good since they would have lost less players than the really good teams? Or if it's going to be a little bit more of the same? Well, we're going to find that out today. Just look how much some of these teams overalls actually went down. Like, the Bills are down to 77 overall, so they lost a lot. This is a team that got really hit hard. The Chiefs at a 75 overall now. I mean, they lost Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Creed Humphrey, I think they lost, Chris Jones, so yeah, they got hit hard. The Texans are still absolutely terrible. In fact, they actually lost a player in Laremy Tunsil. Jags at an 82, though. I think they're the highest overall team so far, along with the Patriots, too. So maybe like Jags, Patriots, one of those teams will win the Super Bowl. I'm really interested to find out, so let's get into it. So I simulated the first week of the season just to kind of see what's going on here. Davis Mills is absolutely horrific, apparently. 3 interceptions in week 1. Oh, not what I expected. Case Keenum has the most yards after 1 week. It is only 1 week. Trevor Lawrence is in 2. Russ is cooking out here. Chase Daniel is now a starter. Taylor Heineke, Jared Goff, Tua. So you can kind of see who the starting quarterbacks are. Like Kyle Trask is starting for the Buccaneers now. Ooh, okay. So after Joe Burrow got Thanos out of existence in this franchise, the Bengals signed Cam Newton to be their quarterback. Just wanted to see the starters. Like Alexander Madison's the starter for the Vikings now. Hassan Haskins is starting for the Titans. Amir Abdullah can't be the starting running back for the Raiders, man. This is so interesting to look at. Like DeAndre Carter's the leading receiver in the league after 1 week. Let me sim halfway through the first season so that we can get like a better idea of what's going on. So every team has played at least 8 games, and probably not that surprising, the Jacksonville Jags are 9-0. So we've got some interesting records. Like Browns are 6-2, the Ravens are 3-6. No Lamar, no Mark Andrews, no Roquan Smith, no Marlon Humphrey, no Justin Tucker. I might be even missing one more person. Bills are still 6-2 despite losing players like Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I think they also lost Tre'Davious White. Oh no, the Dolphins with only 1 win though. So you guys thought this year's NFC South was bad. Well, check out this NFC West standings. What am I looking at here? Wow, it seems like interception numbers just skyrocketed for some of these guys. There's so many interceptions being thrown. Jeez. And checking out some of the rushing numbers. So A.J. Dillon, 11 touchdowns already. Kamara with 10. Zamir White with 10. Wait, hold on. Okay, so yeah, Zamir White's just the goal line back for this team. That makes sense. This is a 6th season from Tyler Boyd so far, too. We're only halfway through the season. He almost has 1,000 yards. Anyone with like crazy sack numbers? Oh, 12 sacks for Chase Young. Mike Hughes has 6 interceptions. Does he even have 6 interceptions in his career right now? Already things are looking pretty interesting. Let's just sim the rest of the season and see who makes the playoffs. Okay, so first look, Jags did not end the season as hot as they did starting the season, but still, I mean, 14-3 record's amazing. Broncos 15-2, really? So Jags finished 2nd in the AFC. Patriots, I mean, that makes sense. We saw their overall. The Browns won the AFC North with a 10-7 record. Jets made the playoffs, and the Bills still made the playoffs. That's 5 teams that's made the playoffs that didn't make it in real life because the top 100 got eliminated. Moving on over to the NFC side, though, Commanders with the #1 seed. Eagles still made the playoffs, though. Falcons, Cowboys, Lions, Bears, Rams all ending with an 11-6 record. Weren't the Saints like 7-2 at the break, by the way? Like, what happened to the Saints? They're 9-8. What happened to them? Same story with the NFC. 5 teams that didn't make the playoffs IRL made it in the playoffs in this NFL. So removing the top 100 changed the playoff picture a lot. Case Keenum had 40 touchdowns, 5,300 yards this year. Jeez. Aaron Rodgers with his best Jameis Winston-like performance here with 31 touchdowns, 25 picks. Taylor Heineke with 43 touchdowns. Wow. So passer rating-wise, our best quarterback of the year was Trevor Lawrence. Jags had a sick year. Makes a lot of sense. Who was the worst starting quarterback in the league? It was very easily Davis Mills. So Alvin Kamara ended up being the leading rusher in the league, but a lot of pretty good running backs this year. 23 touchdowns for Javonte Williams. Okay, I could kind of see why the Broncos ended up being the best team in the league. Yeah, 23 rushing touchdowns is a crazy number. Also, Zamir White only getting goal line carries had 21 touchdowns. Zamir White had a touchdown every 7 2/3 carries. That's crazy. Tyler Boyd also ended up being the leading receiver like we saw at midseason. So Odell Beckham was pretty much the replacement for Devontae Adams on the roster, and that seemed to work out pretty well for the Raiders. Van Jefferson taking over the Cooper Kupp role leads the league in receiving touchdowns. One thing I haven't seen is the best tight end in the league, because we removed a lot of the tight ends, so I need to find who our leading tight end was, and it was Zach Ertz. Chase Young ended up 18.5 sacks. Pretty sick year. Khalil Mack was 60.5 sacks, though. A little bit of a career resurgence for him. Is Mike Hughes going to have double-digit picks? I'm actually very interested to see that. Let's see. Let's find out. Close. 9 interceptions for Mike Hughes. Adoree Jackson also had 9 picks, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with 8 picks. Wow. Dude, these guys got so many interceptions. I feel like these are crazy interception numbers. But it is playoff time now. This is what the playoff picture is looking like, so let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, we had some upsets. Starting with the Jags, who looked pretty good, getting upset by the 7-seed Bills, 17-12. What is that scoreline? We would have all been complaining on Twitter if we saw this playoff game. 0-0 at halftime, we would have all been complaining. The Patriots destroyed the Jets. The fact that the Jets are even in the playoffs is a little bit crazy, but Mac Jones had a pretty good game. 5-seed Titans beating the Browns. The Titans almost choked this game. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to assume one of these Deshaun Watson picks cost the Browns. Over on the NFC side, the Eagles lose to the 2-seed Lions. Pretty good game from Jared Goff. Okay. Big time blowout upset. 42-10 Cowboys-Rams. 4 touchdown game for him. That's a monster game for Dak. And then the final game of the wildcard round, Falcons-Bears. 28-17. An absolute sick game for Marcus Mariota. I thought the Jags were going to win this in year 1, but after they got upset, I think I'm going to go for the Lions. I'm rooting for the Lions to win. Let's see who moves on. Okay, we got a team on a potential Cinderella run right now as the Buffalo Bills absolutely blow out the Denver Broncos. Bills scored 42 points in the first half? What? Okay, let me just see how many touchdowns Case Keenum threw for. 4. Somehow Josh Rosen even had a touchdown pass in this game. And then for the other AFC game, the Patriots blow out the Titans. Titans scored 7 points in the first quarter, and that was it for them. Oh no, Ryan Tannehill, 103 yards passing. The NFC side was a lot closer, though. Cowboys winning by a touchdown. Lions winning by a touchdown. I think this is expected from Dak. He's the highest overall quarterback in the league. I'm shocked that he wasn't the passing yards leader. Is Jared Goff still dominating? He is. 3 touchdown game for Jared Goff again. We got a little Thanksgiving matchup with the Lions-Cowboys, right? So, very interesting championship games. Who's moving on to the Super Bowl? Okay, the Cinderella run continues for, honestly, both of these Super Bowl teams. 6-seed Cowboys, 7-seed Bills. 2 of this year's playoff teams still made it to the Super Bowl, so kind of interesting. So it looks like the Patriots just kind of ran out of gas in the 4th quarter. Joe Thomas with 2 sacks, Tremaine Edmonds with the sack, Boogie Basham with the sack. They were just getting after Mac Jones, it looks like. The Cowboys won by 17 in this game. Okay, surprising. I thought Dak would have had another monster game. Zeke had 4 touchdowns. So that's where all the scoring came from. Jeez. All right, Cowboys-Bills. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Super Bowl 52 with Case Keenum leading the Buffalo Bills. And Dak Prescott, the highest overall quarterback in this league. All right, let's see how this first quarter is going to go as the Cowboys drive down the field, get a touchdown. They get 2 touchdowns. 14-0. So the Bills already got to start fighting back here, but it doesn't look like they're getting anything done. I mean, nothing's really happening in the second quarter. Another touchdown. I hope they come back. So it makes things a little bit more interesting. They get a touchdown, they get a field goal, only down by a touchdown. This is going to be an absolutely massive 4th quarter, but Cowboys get a touchdown off the rip. Bills got to answer on this drive. They need to, and they do. They got to get the stop here, though, but oh, they're driving. The Cowboys are driving. Oh, that was the game. They just killed the entire, that was like 4 minutes they just killed. Wow. So in this alternate reality where the top 100 NFL players just simply don't exist, they've been Thanos wiped out, the Cowboys would win the Super Bowl. So I guess Cowboys fans need to find an infinity gauntlet if they want another Super Bowl. I think a bad game for Case Keenum was bound to happen at some point. Dak Prescott balled out. Again, he's the highest overall quarterback in this league. He absolutely should be balling out. So the Cowboys would have won the Super Bowl if the top 100 players didn't exist, but who wins the awards? So Trevor Lawrence MVP, Tyler Boyd Offensive Player of the Year, Khalil Mack Defensive Player of the Year, and then Christian Watson, Aiden Hutchinson, the Rookies of the Year. The one I'm really surprised about is Khalil Mack over Chase Young. Trevor Lawrence wins MVP, Dak Prescott second, Jalen Hurts, Case Keenum. We saw the numbers he had. That makes a lot of sense. Marcus Mariota is the 6th best quarterback, guys. Zach Wilson's number 10. A little weird that I could only look at players of the year by conference, but yeah, Tyler Boyd for the AFC. Interestingly enough, ETN finished above Trevor Lawrence. Okay, Van Jefferson was the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. All right. So we saw Khalil Mack win the actual Defensive Player of the Year, but Chase Young was the NFC Defensive Player of the Year. So I think the results were pretty interesting. I want to go to the next year to see if one of these bad teams get really good with just drafting a quarterback or signing a quarterback, especially the Texans, who I'm controlling right now. So I have the first overall pick, and a player like this is going to help out the Texans. We saw Davis Mills and how bad he was last year. So maybe this guy changed the Texans around in 1 year. I don't know. Oh no, he's normal dev though. So these are the highest overall players currently in this NFL. Chase Young at 1. DK Metcalf at 2. Dak Prescott is still the highest overall quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence right behind him, though. But yeah, let's just sim through the entire second season and see if there's any surprises. Well, the Texans at least improved a little bit. 8-9 for them. Titans absolutely fell off, though, at 4-13. Yikes. All right, let's see how the standings worked out. So the Jags finished with the number 1 overall record. The Broncos are still hanging in there. Steelers making the playoffs this year, though. Patriots are still there. Bills are still there. Chiefs are back in the playoffs. And the Colts make the playoffs this season. Falcons with the 1 seed, though. Somehow Marcus Mariota is absolutely balling out in this league. The defending champs Cowboys are still there at the 2 seed, though. Panthers, Seahawks, Bears, Giants, Commanders still making the playoffs. The Lions went from the 2 seed to the second worst team in the NFC. Hey, this guy that I drafted for the Texans, though, way better than what Davis Mills was doing. But I want to see who was leading the league, and it was Russell Wilson. Broncos 41 touchdowns, 13 picks, 5,000 yards. Jared Goff with the most touchdowns in the league, but 21 interceptions. Oh, no! Mike White starting for the Buccaneers now, and he threw 21 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. Guys, I think Marcus Mariota has a chance at MVP. 4,600 yards, 38 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. What a sick season from Najee Harris. I see why the Steelers made the playoffs this year. And then the receiving numbers, Adam Thielen leading the league in receiving yards, but Amon-Ra St. Brown with 21 receiving touchdowns. Who led the league in sacks, though? 20 sacks for Uchenna Nwosu. Vita Vea with 17.5 sacks, though, from the D-tackle position. What? Yeah, these sack numbers are insane. Khalil Mack still absolute monster in this league. Did we get crazy interception numbers this time, though? Okay, not as crazy, but Nick Needham with 7 picks leading the league. So this is the Season 2 playoff bracket. Let's see how it plays out. This wild card round was just filled with upsets. 2 seed Broncos going down. The defending champ 2 seed Cowboys losing. 3 seed Seahawks losing. The 4 seed Bears losing. The 4 seed Patriots losing. The only higher seed that won this week was the Steelers over the Chiefs. The divisional round didn't get as crazy, but we did have one of the 1 seeds lose. It was the Falcons. Upset central over on the NFC side. AFC side, 1 versus a 3 seed. Hey, I was saying earlier that I thought the Jags were going to win it year 1. Maybe year 2 they're going to win it. And here we go. The Jags have made the Super Bowl, beating the Steelers 35-20. But the Jags are playing someone that just absolutely destroyed their opponent in the NFC Championship game. The Washington Commanders. 55-10. They were up 21-0 in the first quarter. That's so bad that in Madden, it will bring up the "do you want to quit" screen. Oh my God, Sam Howell, 6 touchdowns in this game. I guess they drafted some sick rookie too, because he had 2 touchdowns. So last season, I was able to get into the Super Bowl because I just did the play now, but now that we're another season ahead, we're going to just have to sim this. So let's see who wins the Super Bowl, guys. I hope it's the Jags. The Jacksonville Jaguars won. Trevor Lawrence Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence back-to-back MVPs. Amon-Ra St. Brown rightfully Player of the Year, and Vita Vea understandably Defensive Player of the Year. What was Trevor Lawrence's number? Okay, yeah, 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, almost 5,000 yards. Yeah, MVP. So the MVP voting ended like this, and apparently if you get rid of the top 100 players, Marcus Mariota is one of the best players in the league. Jordan Love's on the Giants now? What the hell happened? Some trading going on that I didn't know about with the Giants and Packers, I guess. Geno Smith's also on the Panthers now. Yeah, AFC Offensive Player of the Year being Najee makes sense because Amon-Ra's on the NFC side. Vita Vea, we already saw. Who won it on the AFC side, though? Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, Khalil Mack, of course. I see why the Falcons and Marcus Mariota has been good, and it's because Kyle Pitts is by far the highest overall tight end in the game. So it definitely looks like the teams that had, like, you know, the great up-and-coming players that weren't in the top 100 just took over the NFL. I mean, especially the Jacksonville Jaguars. They absolutely took over. I don't know. I thought this was pretty interesting to see how things turned out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. YouTube recommends that you watch this video next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.